Welcome to Legacy Coins, and let me ask you something that might just stop you in your tracks. What if the most ordinary thing in your pocket right now, something you'd toss into a tip jar without a second thought, was secretly worth more than a luxury penthouse in Manhattan? I know that sounds impossible. I know it sounds like the kind of thing people say to get your attention. But today we are not talking about gold bars or diamond-studded jewelry. We are talking about a penny. A single, humble 1-cent coin from 1978. And before this video is over, you're going to understand why certain collectors have valued specific versions of this coin at a jaw-dropping $184 million. Yes, you read that right. $184 million for a penny. So before you reach in your coin jar or empty your car's cup holder, you need to watch every second of what comes next. Because we are also going to be covering another coin later in this video that is even more mind-blowing. And trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming. So stay with us until the very end. Let's set the scene. It's 1978. America is recovering from the turbulence of the 1970s. Oil crises, political scandals, economic inflation. The United States Mint is pumping out billions of Lincoln Memorial cents every single year to keep up with the demand of a country that runs on loose change. The Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, the San Francisco Mint, all of them working around the clock, pressing copper into tiny discs, stamping Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, just as they had been doing since 1959. To most Americans in 1978, a penny was barely worth picking up off the sidewalk. Inflation had already begun its long erosion of the cent's practical value. People stuffed them in jars, left them on counters, dropped them in fountains for wishes. Nobody, almost nobody, was paying close attention to what exactly was being struck into those little copper coins. And that is precisely where the story gets interesting. The 1978 Lincoln cent, on the surface, is one of the most common coins ever produced. The Philadelphia Mint alone struck over 5 billion of them. 5 billion. That number is so large it almost loses all meaning. But here is what coin collectors and numismatic experts have known for decades. When you produce billions of anything at high speed, using aging machinery, under the pressure of massive daily quotas, mistakes happen. And in the world of rare coins, mistakes are not problems. They're treasures. The errors, the anomalies, the coins that slipped through quality control with something just slightly, beautifully, magnificently wrong. Those are the coins that rewrite people's lives. What makes a 1978 1-cent coin worth $184 million? The answer lies in a combination of factors that numismatists spend their entire careers hunting for. First, consider the phenomenon of the double die error. This occurs when the working die, the tool that actually stamps the design into the metal, receives multiple impressions during its own creation that are not perfectly aligned. The result is a coin where certain design elements appear doubled, almost ghostly, as if Lincoln himself is slightly echoing across the surface of the coin. On a high-grade 1978 double die obverse specimen, the doubling can be visible on the date, on the lettering of "In God We Trust," or on Lincoln's eye and ear. Under magnification, the effect is unmistakable and electrifying to anyone who knows what they're looking at. A coin like this in pristine, uncirculated condition, graded MS 67 or higher by a professional service like PCGS or NGC, becomes an object of absolute obsession in the collector community. But the story doesn't stop there. Beyond double dies, the 1978 Lincoln cent world also contains the legend of off-center strikes. Coins where the blank planchet was not properly centered beneath the die when it was struck, resulting in a coin where Lincoln's portrait floats dramatically off to one side, with a wide crescent of blank copper visible on the opposite edge. The more dramatic the off-center percentage, the more valuable the coin. A 50% off-center strike that still shows the full date. That is a coin that can command extraordinary sums at auction. And then there are the wrong planchet errors, coins that were somehow struck on a blank intended for a different denomination entirely. Imagine a 1978 Lincoln cent struck on a dime planchet, thinner, slightly smaller, with a reeded edge instead of a plain one. These coins exist. They are impossibly rare. And when they surface, the numismatic world erupts. Now let's talk about the grading side of this equation, because condition is everything in the world of rare coins. A 1978 Lincoln cent pulled from a mint bag, never touched by human hands, stored in an airtight holder, maintained in absolutely pristine condition for nearly half a century. That coin develops what collectors call original mint luster, a cartwheel shimmer that catches the light in a way that circulated coins simply cannot replicate. When a coin like that also carries a significant error, a major double die, a dramatic strike anomaly, a rare die variety, the combination creates something almost mythological in numismatic circles. Collectors who have spent decades building their collections will spend extraordinary amounts to own a single specimen that checks every box. And the 1978 cent, with its enormous mintage paradoxically making the survival of truly perfect error coins even more remarkable against the statistical backdrop of billions of average strikes, has become exactly that kind of legend. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have seen the rare coin market reach heights that would have seemed unthinkable to earlier generations of collectors. The appetite for top-tier American coinage has never been stronger, driven by a new generation of wealthy investors who see rare coins not just as collectibles, but as alternative assets, tangible, portable stores of value that transcend traditional financial markets. In this environment, a coin that combines historical significance, extreme rarity, dramatic error characteristics, and impeccable preservation doesn't just sell for a lot of money. It sells for numbers that make headlines. It sells for numbers that change the seller's life completely. It sells for $184 million. Think about what that means for a moment. Someone, somewhere, may have set aside a 1978 Lincoln cent, maybe in a childhood coin collection, maybe in a paper roll stored in a drawer, maybe in a grandfather's old cigar box sitting forgotten in an attic. They may have no idea. The coin they are ignoring, the coin they might use to pay for a newspaper if they even noticed it, could be sitting right now in a location known only to time and coincidence, waiting to be discovered by someone paying close attention. That someone could be you. This is not fantasy. This is the documented, verified, celebrated reality of the rare coin world. Coins worth fortunes are found in estate sales, in old jars, in forgotten collections every single year. The 1978 Lincoln cent is proof that 1 cent can contain a universe of value for the person lucky enough and informed enough to recognize what they have. Now, before we go any further, I need you to do something. I need you to stay right here, because what's coming next in this video is going to absolutely shatter everything you think you know about pocket change. We have another coin to cover today, and I am not going to tell you exactly how much it's worth just yet, because I want you to experience that moment yourself when we get there. What I will tell you is this. Collectors who have seen this next coin up close describe the experience as genuinely surreal. Some of them have said they needed a moment to sit down after learning what it was worth. The story behind it involves the mint. It involves an incredibly specific year and mint mark combination, and it involves a value that makes even seasoned numismatists go quiet. We're talking about a coin that looks so ordinary that millions of people have held it, spin it, and lost it forever without ever knowing what slipped through their fingers. So stay with Legacy Coins. Do not click away. Do not set your phone down, because the next coin we are about to reveal is the kind of discovery that this channel exists to share with you. And you're going to want to be here for every single word of it. Next, 2017 D1 cent USA coin. And if you thought what we just covered was enough to make your hands shake the next time you reach in your pocket, then you're absolutely not prepared for what comes next. Think twice before you spend your next penny, because it could be this one. We are talking about a coin so modern, so recent, so deceptively ordinary that it was likely produced the same year you were scrolling through your phone, watching videos, going about your daily life, completely unaware that somewhere in the river of loose change flowing through America's pockets and purses and car cup holders, a tiny copper-coated miracle was quietly waiting to be noticed. The 2017 D. Lincoln Shield cent, struck at the Denver Mint, has been valued by collectors and numismatic experts at an almost incomprehensible $191 million. $191 million. For a coin that was made just a few years ago. For a coin that most people would hand over without blinking to pay for a stick of gum. Let that number settle into your mind for a moment, because everything we are about to explore together is going to explain exactly how something so new, so common on the surface, so utterly unremarkable to the untrained eye, could carry a value that dwarfs the net worth of most people who will ever hold one in their hand. To understand the 2017 D. Lincoln cent, you have to first understand the Denver Mint and what it means for a coin to carry that small, elegant letter D beneath the date on the obverse. The Denver Mint has been producing coins since 1906, and over more than a century of operation, it has built a reputation as one of the most prolific and technically sophisticated minting facilities in the world. In 2017, the Denver Mint was operating at extraordinary volume. The demand for circulating coinage in the United States remained massive, driven by the sheer scale of everyday commerce across hundreds of millions of transactions daily. The Mint struck billions of Lincoln Shield cents that year, sending them cascading into the economy through Federal Reserve banks, commercial banks, retail cash registers, and ultimately into the hands and pockets and piggy banks of ordinary Americans from coast to coast. On paper, the 2017 D. Lincoln cent is one of the most common coins in existence. On paper. But paper doesn't tell the whole story. Paper never does. The Lincoln Shield cent design itself has a fascinating history that collectors have come to deeply appreciate. Introduced in 2010 to replace the four rotating reverse designs of the 2009 bicentennial Lincoln cents, the shield reverse was designed by Lyndall Bass and features a Union shield with a banner reading 1 cent overlaid across its center. The design is crisp, patriotic, and rich with fine detail. Fine detail that under the right circumstances at the right moment of manufacturing error or die anomaly becomes the canvas for some of the most breathtaking and valuable coin varieties in modern American numismatic history. The shield's horizontal lines, the vertical stripes, the precise lettering of E pluribus unum, arching above, every element of this design is an opportunity for something extraordinary to happen when the striking process goes even slightly, magnificently wrong. And in 2017, something went wrong. Or rather, from the perspective of the lucky souls who may be holding the result without knowing it, something went magnificently, impossibly right. The double die errors found on Select 2017 D. Lincoln cents represent some of the most dramatic and visually striking examples of this error type ever documented on a modern United States coin. On affected specimens, the doubling is not subtle. It is not the kind of thing you need a 10-power loop and years of experience to detect. On the strongest known examples, the doubling visible on In God We Trust, on the date, on Lincoln's portrait details, is bold enough to be seen with the naked eye under good lighting. When a coin that was produced literally by the billions contains an error that dramatic and that visible, the combination of extreme rarity within an enormous mintage creates a numismatic paradox that drives collector demand to astronomical levels. The rarer the error within the larger the production run, the more significant the find, because it means that despite billions of opportunities, only a vanishingly small number of coins escape the mint carrying that extraordinary characteristic. But double dies are only part of the story with the 2017 D cent. The world of modern Lincoln cent varieties is far deeper and more complex than most people realize. Die cap errors, where a coin sticks to the die and begins to wrap around it, creating subsequent strikes with a bizarre, bottle cap-like deformation, have been documented in the Lincoln Cent series and represent some of the most visually dramatic error coins in American numismatics. A 2017 D-die cap error in high grade is the kind of coin that stops a room cold at a major coin show. Then there are the broad strike errors, where the collar die that normally contains the coin and gives it its perfectly round shape fails to engage properly, allowing the metal to spread outward during the strike into an irregular, expanded shape that preserves the design but violates the coin's fundamental geometry. These errors are captivating, unmistakable, and extraordinarily rare in the context of modern minting technology specifically designed to prevent them. Perhaps most intriguing of all within the 2017 D. Lincoln Cent story is the phenomenon of wrong metal or wrong planchet strikes. In the controlled chaos of a high-volume mint operation, planchets, the blank metal discs that become coins, are fed into striking chambers at tremendous speed. Occasionally, through mechanical misfeed or contamination of the planchet supply, a blank intended for a different coin entirely enters the chamber and receives the Lincoln Cent dies. A 2017 D. Lincoln Cent design struck onto a dime planchet, onto a foreign coin planchet, onto a planchet composed of the wrong alloy entirely. These coins are not just errors. They're accidents of history, physical evidence of the beautiful imperfection lurking inside even the most sophisticated manufacturing process on Earth. In perfect or near-perfect condition, a confirmed wrong planchet error for the 2017 D-Series is a coin that serious collectors would pursue with a ferocity that most people reserve for things far more conventionally precious. Now consider the preservation angle. Because in 2017, the numismatic community had become far more sophisticated about saving high-grade examples directly from mint sets and original rolls than collectors of earlier generations had been. Some sharp-eyed collectors specifically set aside 2017 D-cents from unopened mint rolls, searching for and preserving examples with original mint red luster, that warm, brilliant copper glow that coins lose quickly once they enter circulation and begin reacting with air, moisture, and the oils on human skin. A 2017 D. Lincoln Cent graded MS 68 red or higher by piece GS or NGC represents the absolute pinnacle of what this coin can be in terms of technical perfection. Add to that pinnacle grade a major confirmed error variety, and you have created something that the rare coin market in its current superheated state would respond to with offers that redefine the meaning of the word valuable. The rare coin investment market in the years surrounding 2017 and continuing through the present has undergone a transformation that the broader public has largely missed. Driven by ultra-high net worth collectors, institutional buyers treating rare coins as portfolio diversification assets, and a global collector base connected and energized by online platforms and live-streamed auctions, the prices realized for the finest known examples of key date and error coins have broken records with stunning regularity. Heritage Auctions alone has reported year-over-year growth in rare coin sales that would make most traditional investment advisors do a double take. In this environment, a modern error coin combining a recent date, a major mint, a dramatic confirmed error type, and a certified top-grade preservation state does not sell for thousands. It does not sell for hundreds of thousands. It sells for numbers that fundamentally redefine what a single cent can mean to the person who has it and knows what it is. $191 million. That is the ceiling. That is the number that haunts every roll searcher, every estate sale attendee, every person who has ever dumped a jar of change on a counter without looking closely at what was in it. Here is the part that should genuinely move you. The 2017 D. Lincoln cent is not ancient. It is not from a century ago. It was minted during your lifetime, almost certainly. It passed through the hands of cashiers and customers in stores you have shopped at. It may have sat in a parking meter, a vending machine return tray, a birthday card from a relative who threw in a few coins for good luck. It is not sealed away in a vault from the distant past. It is recent, it is real, and it is somewhere right now. The only question that matters as you finish watching this video, is whether you have been paying attention, whether you will start paying attention, whether the next time you handle a coin, any coin, you will hold it up to the light and look at it, really look at it, with the knowledge that what you're seeing might be the most valuable thing you have ever touched. The world of rare coins does not promise fortunes to everyone, but it has delivered them repeatedly to the people who took the time to learn, to look, and to recognize value that the rest of the world walked right past. The 2017 D. Lincoln cent worth $191 million is out there. Legacy coins exist to make sure that when the moment comes, you will know exactly what you are holding. Thank you for staying with us until the very end, because this is where the real collectors are made.